Well, guys, this old scrap yard, my customer, while the scrap price is up, which reminds me, I got to get my ass in gear, and I got scrap metal at my own place that I got to get hauled off while this shit's worth something. But this is the excavator. I told him, don't buy that thing. He bought this at a GSA auction. I remember him messaging me about this thing, and I was like, oh my God. I've worked on a few of these. This is a 1088. I've had some 688s and stuff, and they're just hard to get parts for. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now, that should be the left side, because the finals are over on that end. They got the house turned around on it. I don't know if there's no battery disconnect. Grill fires right up. Not familiar with the switches and stuff in this one. Where's the... is the RPMs at on this one? I'm not certain. Gonna release that. Should be a safety that you throw down for the hydraulics for the pilot controls. I guess not on this one. I guess there wasn't no safeties on these. Find out where the damn right there, just a hand throttle, good old-fashioned hand throttle. Pretty simple, huh? Alright, so I'm thinking this is the left side here. The left side. Yeah, it's trying to turn. Yeah. It's trying to turn. There's something wrong in the final, I think. There's something wrong in the final. I can see it trying to... And it's laboring the engine down. Okay. Let's get some of this debris out of the way. Let's put you guys right around in here, maybe. That's the horn. Okay, what runs the thumb on this one? Not really sure what runs the thumb. Oh, it's just an idle thumb. It doesn't even have a cylinder on it. So, never mind with that. There's no cylinder on the thumb. rise off of that. I don't think it's a... You can hear the motor labor down. We got to get some shit out of our way so we can work in here. It's a lot better than working on a Dodge. I would rather be out here in the trash working on this excavator than working on that Dodge Henry, I'll tell you that. Get myself a walking path. Okay, so here's our motor case here. We'll pull that off. Or should we just pull a plug out of this vinyl and see if it's full of metal? I don't know what the right decision here would be. Let's just clean this out and see if we can get a plug out. Well, I pulled the bottom plug out, and obviously there's no oil in the final, so I guess we know where to go from here. Start pulling these cap bolts out, and we'll see what we got. Let's see. Yep, okay. Not enough cojones here, huh? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to whack these with a hammer or something. Let's see here. Okay. I need a smaller screwdriver to clean those holes out. She ain't got no gas in her. That's the thing when you buy. I try to warn him when you buy some of this stuff from these auctions. You gotta get somebody in there after you buy it or before you buy it and check everything out. Check the fluids, you know, things like that. Obviously, there's something that's leaked all the oil out of the final. Probably the seal back there where the motor is. The damn shit cleaned out of the holes here. Okay. Now, had a 688 I worked on one time. I know that 688 you can hardly get parts for. Those 88 series, a lot of them were built in France and then shipped over here, and you couldn't get shit for them. But I don't know, we'll see what we get. So I told him, I said, don't buy that thing because they're hard to get parts for. Seal off the plug. Yeah, I'm hearing parts. Yeah, I'm hearing parts rattling around in here. She has got no oil in it. There's gears and bearings and all kinds of shit laying down in here. Let's get this part over to the truck. And let's bear with me. Yeah, you can see bearings down in here. All kinds of neat stuff. Sun gear. Yeah, we're gonna have to tear this final completely apart. This is not good news for him. I don't really see any broken gears here, but it didn't have no oil in it and it lost a bearing. That's what happened. Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah. The bearing went out on the... Both these bearings are gone. The snap rings, it sheared them off. It ain't got no fucking oil in it. Okay. Other than that, really, though, the gears, once you clean the greasy looking shit off, I don't really see any damaged gears, so... Okay. We're gonna have to tear all this shit apart to get all that material and make sure there ain't something else that's foobarred in it. Okay, and so the snap rings there will pull the individual planets off. I'm not sure how this is old school. I torn a bunch of finals off in my day, but not one of these. Don't know how this one actually comes apart. It's got a double planetary set, that's what it is. I see you can pull the snap rings and pull these gears off individually, and then there's another snap ring here. Let me get a bar. That's what I thought. I got a bar back in behind it. I thought, well, that should slide off of there. What do we got? Did that damage any of this sun gear? I think he got lucky. And very expensive parts seem to be okay so far. That outer planetary might be all that we really have to do to this one. I think he got really lucky. Well, it's lucky that it was a slow turning thing, you know. Now this set up here, because I see I got a darn roller out of a bearing right in the ring gear. We don't need that in there, do we? I don't know if this one here, I don't think this one slides out though. I think you got to pull this one, if I remember. Yeah. I think this one's bolted in with these Allens. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we got to get these loose here. liking that. Get some panther piss. Try this stuff this guy from Ashland brought over here. Malt bee. Probably didn't let stuff sit in there long enough, probably. Rust it up faster. Hello. Hello. Well, and that's what happens. That this gets packed, and then the seal goes out here, and it all gets saturated into this dirt, and you'll never see it leak because it's all trapped in here. Key strain for the motor, I think. I don't know if this one's fancy enough to have a 2-speed on it or not. Okay. I'm not really even sure where the leak is right now. There's nothing in it. Unless it leaked between the sprocket and there. Is that a possibility? Did it leak between the sprocket and the... Okay, I think that's where it leaked from. It's wet right there. I think the whole thing's gonna have to come apart, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit greasy looking out here, but it's hard to tell. But I see evidence of oil. I see evidence of oil. Yeah, it's all greasy right here, where it leaked out for years, and whoever had it before them never did fix it. If they would have just poured oil in it, it probably would have been fine. I guarantee you're gonna get oil back in this thing, get it all fixed out here, and it's gonna leak. Yeah, see all the oil and greasy looking shit right there. Yeah, it's not good. I'll have to get a hold of him, see what he wants to do. I'd like to at least get this part off here and get material out of there. This guy here, he might just say, I pour oil better and go again. So I don't know yet. I was gonna vibrate on these with my air hammer. I couldn't get them loose. I was standing on my 1/2-inch breaker bar and they wouldn't come loose. I was gonna vibrate them on my air hammer and then hit them again. I got one loose. I had to sit there with my torch. Keep the living piss out of it. Jeez. That's the only way I'm able to get them loose. I know that fucker's probably gonna be hot as hell. Same old song and dance on the other ones now. Shit in my tip. Damn it. Clean tip out. God dang it, man. Come on. Let's go 2 more bolts, you son of a bitch. I have to go clean the tip out. Something in my tip here. Yeah. Let me go clean my tip out. Tighter than the hubs of hell. Okay. Probably would be prudent to get something other than my bear dick skinners to grab that with. And they were Loctited too. That's probably what I had to do, was get it hot enough to get the Loctite broke loose on it. And they came out. I knew I was gonna break a breaker bar or something reefing on it. Shouldn't this one pop out of there now? It should. There it goes. I knew it would come loose eventually. Oh, get in there. I don't know what's hot and what's not hot. And all these have needle bearings in them too, so I need to check all this shit, you know? Something just fell down a shim or something. Yeah, the shim fell down out of it. There it goes. It hung up. Shims here. See where there's shims and where there isn't. These bearings are all falling out of this one, and those bearings are all falling out of that one, which is not really what I wanted to happen, but come on, spread out a little wider. There we go. Suction cupped in there. There's something not right with this. missing something here. We're missing some bearings on this one. There's some missing on that one. Yeah, see? Gotta account for all this stuff. We'll have to account for all this stuff. Good grief. I see a roller. It's in between the track pad there. Let me get this back. Yeah. I think these are actually the ones that go up there. Something. No, they fell out of this one. They fell out of this one. I'll have to grease all these and put them all back together. The son of a bitch would have came out with the rest of them like that. But she didn't. Yeah, and this is what I was worried about, with stuff like this laying down inside the ring gear, and you know, you didn't take it apart and you didn't catch it, and you fired it up and started driving it ahead, and you broke another gear and fucked something else up if you didn't keep going. Man, it's like they're stuck on there, huh? All these seem to be accounted for, but I'm missing one of the washers. It's this one right here. Okay, all those are accounted for. What the fuck, huh? Where'd all them? Okay. Well, that was smooth. Okay, well, I gotta sort all through that. Get all those back in there, but okay. Damn it. Well, I mean, to get back in here, you'd have to pull this all off. I gotta see what he wants to do. If he wants to keep going, there's a big seal back in here. And that's where the seal comes into play, back in here. So I don't really know what he really wants to do there. I'll have to ask him about that. I don't know if he wants to pull this motor out, and I mean, to do it right, you know that this, see right here, this is leaking right here. That's leaking. It's greasy right here. That's where the seal, big seal is, and it's leaking. So I don't know if he wants to fix what's in it and then try to, this one, most of these excavators don't have alligators on them. You gotta use a pin press to get them apart, which really sucks. I don't see any alligators on this one anywhere. Most of these excavators didn't have them, like a cat. I don't see any on this. They require the use of a pen press or a sledgehammer. And I'm getting to where I just really don't like that sledgehammer and shit anymore. But I might have to, because I can't afford to buy a pen press. And I do not see... But there's more than one way to skin a cat. I can take the track tensioner loose and flop the track over the edge with the bucket if I have to. I don't have to even take the track loose and break it loose. My SD card got full. I had to get rid of some old footage off of it. I think this one here had all the bearings in it. Would you get off of there? Damn thing doesn't wanna. I'll just do it this way then. Oh, there's some missing in there. I know there's still one under a track pad over there I gotta go get out. Who's to say there's not one on the other side of this that's not missing? Let's see here. If I can just get the washer up. Ah! Butterfingers. We gotta pull the plug on that other final. I don't know. I'll have to. Before I go any further, I gotta get a hold of him and see what he wants to do. Parts availability is going to be an issue, I can guarantee you that. This one has all the bearings in it, so I suspect this one has one on the other side somewhere that's probably missing. No, they're all there. So, damn it. Well, I gotta clean them all up anyway. Those are all accounted. God dang it, man. Kind of a shitty fucking design, really. Really fucking kind of a piss poor setup. Get your fucking ass back on there, you piece of shit. Well, let's put all them back in there now. Had them all in there. I'm looking for the one that's... There's one over there on the trackpad, and maybe it might have been a roller that was out of that other setup, too. You know, out of the outer planetary. I bet that's what it is. Why is this not... Shit like this drives me crazy. I just don't want all this stuff when I'm bouncing down the road. I'd like to have it all in the same spot, accounted for, and know where everything's at. We'll have to grease all this shit and put it back together once we get it cleaned up. Put a bunch of grease on there to hold all the bearings in there and the pile of shit. I've done a lot of final work, and this is kind of a ridiculous setup here, but torque hubs and things like that over the years. Okay, I'm getting there. Alright, there's the last one in there. Okay. All those are in there. Okay, let's... I mean, I see them all on that side on that one. washer coming with it. There's one here. Where's that one go? Those are all in there. Those are all in there. Make sure I got this one. I wish I could get this one washer to come the hell off of there. It would make life a lot easier on me. It's screwed up or something. It don't want to. Good grief. I think that's all of them. I think that one over there must be one out of that other setup. And this washer here it's kind of screwed up a little bit. Let's set it all back down in here like so. I'm gonna have to do something. Something ain't setting down right, because this one's setting up. Is it setting up higher? Oh shit, I don't know, guys. This washer don't look so good. Okay. All that shit's back together. All those bearings are in all those. But I had one that was laying down in the ring gear, and I remember laying it up here and it fell down right in there. But I think this one must have come out of that other setup on the outer planetary that was laying in the ring gear. Well, there it goes. I got it out of there. There it is. Okay. I don't even know if it's the same length or not, but I need to pull the plug on the other one. Before I go any further on this, I'll have to, I guess, check parts availability first. I mean, before anything. So what we're gonna definitely need, this whole setup, see, it broke the snap ring. Yeah, it spun on here, and I might be able to save that. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the gears really aren't that bad. Well, there's a notch in that one. The sun gear looks fine. Nothing wrong with the sun gear. And I think the ring gear itself actually out here would be fine too. But we definitely need the bearings that go on here. I might take this one apart. It's still intact, maybe. Is there... How about the sun shaft itself? Is there... Where the sun... Okay, there's no bearing or nothing in there. It just kind of drives that one there. We might be able to get this one apart and get a number off of it if we can't get the parts to somebody anymore. We'll have to start trying to find things the hard way. That's the way we're going to have to do things in our modern day age now, because we're a third world country. Well, there ain't no oil in this one either. If there is, it's very little. That's almost on the bottom there, and there ain't nothing coming out of it. I guess I better get a hold of him, see what he wants to do. Oh, we need to tear this one apart and check them bearings out. But I mean, it's the same thing on this one. You can see the greasy spot over here where the hub goes on. Same damn thing. Kind of know what I need, so I'm gonna get a parts list together, talk to the owner, see what he wants to do. Okay, now we're back over here at the Prentice 620 feather buncher. This one had a processor head on it originally. Not sure what Josh has got going on here, but I came here to help him plumb this saw head on it. Okay, there's let's see what he's got going on there. Let's see. I gotta figure out what's going where and what's doing what. And then I was putting the limit switches in it. And Josh is not here, and I don't know where he hid the key. And the bolts aren't here. So, what this thing does, this doesn't have a rotary distribution manifold like a excavator. All the hoses, you can see, they have little swivel type things on them. So what this thing does, guys, is it rotates 540 degrees of total rotation. Okay. This has got a gear on the bottom of it. This assembly does, which we had out of there. This was broken the other day. They just bought this thing anyway. We did a bunch of tests on it, and this switch here was bad. It wasn't stopping it. It's supposed to stop rotation. And it wasn't doing it. And I welded it back on there, but it's been broke off times before because now it's too short, see? And I took these washers and welded on the top of the bolts for the adjustments so the micro switch roller would hit it. And probably the right thing to have done would probably just go get a chunk of metal and make it the length it should have been, but we didn't have anything with us at the time, so this is what we did. I think it'll work fine. This one washer down here, I can see I might have a little bit of trouble with. We're going to have to really watch that when we rotate to make sure that washer doesn't hang up on that switch. But anyways, what it does, guys, that just, once the limit switch hits, it basically takes the hydraulics away from the swing on it, from the swing motor. It's got a swing gear and everything like a excavator, but it does not have a rotary distribution manifold. All them hoses, if you keep twisting and twisting, you can't go round and round and round with this thing like you can an excavator. You'll rip all the hoses out of it. So what it does, it has, so if you're looking at the front of the machine here, which is where the idlers are, say you start out here, what it does, 540 degrees of total rotation. That means that you can go clear around 360 degrees and then back to here. Okay, and then you can do the same thing going counterclockwise, and that's going to give you a 540. So what happened is something on the switch got screwed up. They bought it, they got it off the low boy, and they didn't know that was screwed up, and they went too much, and I had to climb in here and change a hose that was almost ripped clear out of it. It was twisted up really bad. So anyways, we got that done. Now we're on to doing other things, but I got to get a hold of him and see what we're doing. We got to plumb this head. This is the saw head here. This had a processor head on it. The processor head's completely different. There's way more hydraulics involved on the processor head than on the saw head. Basically all you're doing is running the grapples here, and then the saw, what'd they do with the saw? I don't see it anymore. They must have took the saw off of it. Yeah, they took the saw off of it. It's not on here right now. I don't know what Josh did with it, but anyways, I thought maybe you'd get a kick out of looking at this girl. It's got an 8.3 C series Cummins in it. Really good engine. These Temcos, you know, they're not self-leveling. I guess you got to level your cab. Maybe the newer ones are, but this all changes. This all tilts when you're on a hillside or logging on steep ground. You can level your cab out, so it's really handy. Anyways, let me message him and see where the bolts are for this, and the key is short, and I can get the rotation thing figured out and start plumbing it. Well, guys, that'll be the end of this video. Didn't show much there, to be honest with you. The two guys that bought this filler buncher as partners, I'll tell you, the people that sold it to them really got them on me, boy. They really, the deal was they bought it out of Canada, and they had a good price on a haul hauling it down from Canada. They'd actually found one in Montana, but they wanted like 3 times as much money to haul it from Montana in the States than they did from the place in Canada. It was kind of weird. Anyways, I asked them, I said, why didn't you guys go up there to look at it? They said, no, they wouldn't let us into the, they wouldn't let us go look at it unless we had our shots. Well, they're kind of hard-headed like me. They ain't gonna go get that fucking caught shot, so, anyway, they didn't go get the shot, and they just bought it. Well, it's got all kinds of the plumbing on it, okay, so on a feller buncher, usually just on a regular head, a grapple head, what I call it kind of a well, so you're gonna have the arm on the top and the arm on the very bottom, which runs kind of a looking like a grapple thing. That's what they call the bunch. And one end is called the base end, one's called the rod end of the cylinder. So then you're gonna have the gather cylinder. And we basically found out through lots of tracing out hoses and plumbing that one of the things, the pressure and return going to the saw head, that's another one. You're going to have a pressure and return going to a Vickers valve block that runs the saw head. This one's got a hot saw, or what they call a bar saw on it. It doesn't have a regular circular saw. It's got a bar saw. But it's got a Vickers valve block that you have to have a supply and return to, and then the motor for the saw that runs the saw has to have a case drain. So we plumbed we figured out where all those were going and how. So the pressure and return, what happened on the pressure and return, finally figured it out. Looking at the schematic and the actual pictures in the book, what had happened is there's up there on top of the boom, there's 3 rows of hard lines coming off. And the middle, let me think of this through here. There's 3, 6, 9, I think. No, there's 12 lines. 12 lines coming off that one section. So it had been like the second or third one over on the bottom. No, I'm wrong. There's 3 rows of 3. There's 9 lines. So the second one on the bottom from the left was supposed to be the pressure line. Well, I finally figured out what had happened after I started tracing it out. They had taken that, they had cracked the hard line and went around it with another hose in a spot that was blank. So that's what kind of had us screwed up. We was trying to figure out where that was going. Anyways, they had went around a bunch of the plumbing, the case drain. There's a return. There's like a bunch of junction blocks to hook the hoses to, and then they go over to the main block. And they were showing the case drain going over to on that one block, but going over to that fitting. Well, he was really concerned about that, and I said, no, it's on the same block. It doesn't really matter. It's going to the case drain, so you're fine there. So we basically figured it all out finally. They had case drains, they had return and pressure. We figured out what the gather base, the gather rod end. We figured out what the bunch base and the bunch rod end on the head and on the boom were. We labeled all those, so now they can plumb all that stuff and get it right. So anyway, quite an ordeal. And we got the swing fixed on it to where it stops, so it doesn't over-rotate and rip the hoses out of it. So anyways, another fun day of figuring stuff out. Anyways, I'll talk to you later, and thanks for watching.